Okay, what is stop motion animation? Okay, it is a technique used in animation to bring static real life object to life on screen. Okay, dia punya word, the keyword here is not bukan weekly keyword bukan ini maksud the keyword for this is real life object, means here benda yang you can find that you can see around you lah. Macam kita buat hari tu, what I did was I animate the stapler. Some of you animate toys and yalah apa-apa yang ada lah. Ada yang buat ada yang buat dia punya apa tak ingat, tapi banyak juga lah. Some of it I'm quite impressed lah, macam menarik kan. Ya, apa dia? Ya, ada siapa tadi cakap? Ada apa?
Origami tu stop motion juga
Origami betul. Origami mana yang lipat-lipat kertas jadi burung tu? Ke maksudnya? Origami origami ni art of ni lah paper folding lah, kita buat objek kan. Tapi kalau awak gerakkan dia tu, dia jadi stop motion lah. Origami ni saya tahu dia lipat-lipat jadi objek, tapi it's not a stop motion. But if you record a video of that thing moving, so dia jadi stop motion lah. Origami. Dia ada satu cut out tu dia bukan origami lah, dia lebih kurang di kertas juga, tapi it's not origami lah. Okay, this is done by moving the objects in increment. Maksudnya objek tu kita move a little bit while filming a frame per increment. Maksudnya each movement we record, we snap a picture. Okay, after we got all the movement that we need, then we combine it to create an illusion of movement. Okay, this illusion of movement is created when the frame is played as a continuous sequence lah. Okay, for example here I have one. Okay, this is the first. I have a character here. Okay, so this one is cut out punya teknik lah, cut out animation punya teknik. Okay, first I post the character like this, and then I make an adjustment a little bit. I move his hand. Dia turunkan tangan dia ke bawah sikit, and then I snap a picture. And then saya turunkan lagi, I adjust the hand here, and then I snap another picture. And then I combine it and I play it. It will become like this lah. Okay, this is how we make stop motion. Real life objects or real world objects. For example, here this is paper lah, piece of paper that we cut. We draw and then we cut it. Dia stop motion ni mesti real life object, maksudnya bukannya macam kita create pakai komputer grafik, macam contohnya kita create 3D object atau no, it's a real life object, apa-apa objek yang ada kat sekeliling kita ni. Okay, there are types of stop motion ni kita dah pernah sentuh hari tu. We have learned about this. First one is claymation. Okay, this animation we use clay or plasticine or tanah liat lah for the objects. Another one is cut out animation. This one we use paper. We draw on the paper and then we cut the paper and we make the movement. Lah. Okay, another one is model animation. I think all of you have tried this before. When I ask you to create a simple stop motion animation, so you have used any objects that you can find around you lah. Macam saya cakap, saya guna stapler semua tu kan. That's one is model lah, objek yang macam dah ada lah. Okay, stop motion animation development. Okay, you need to brace yourself because you are about to go through a very complicated and tedious journey of a stop motion animation. Okay, memang this process is very tedious lah, complicated, leceh, memenatkan dan sebagainya lah. But that's how we make a stop motion animation. We need to go through all that process. As you can see from the picture below, you can see that that person is animating a dragon, I think. A dragon or a worm, I'm not sure. But he needs to move that object little by little. At the same time, he need to record or take a picture lah. Tengok dia lah laju kan tu pun macam nampak macam maksudnya for a simple movement sometimes we need times lah in order to complete it. Okay, basically all stop motion types, maksudnya tak kisahlah claymation, cut out or model animation go through similar development process. Maksudnya proses dia sama lah, bukan proses nak bangun, cuma bahan je. However, materials used for creating objects are different. For example, clay we use clay or plasticine, and cut out we use paper. Model we use real world object. But basically the process sama, the same, but the material is different lah. Okay, for professional developer, they need to go through all stages in animation development process. Ada pre-production, ada production phase, ada post-production phase. Okay, ini these phases or process we will learn later lah in our maybe next week or next 2 week class tentang what we need to go through in all these 3 main processes lah. Okay, in order to develop a high quality stop motion animation. However, in this class, for this class, you will learn easiest and basic step of developing a simple stop motion animation. Okay, maksudnya dalam kelas ni kita untuk tugasan ni you don't need to go through all the proses yang seperti yang sepatutnya as a developer you need to go through. You don't need to go through all that lah. Just go through some of the stages je lah. Okay, this is one example of picture. This is an example of how the process of creating stop motion animation. For this one is a cut out animation lah. Okay, this is your friend, I think. I don't know whether you know her or not, but his name my previous class lah. This is how they record. They put the pictures or the object on the table, and then they need to use a tripod to record. Okay, this is a basic step for simple stop motion. I mean, this is a step that you need to go through lah for your assignment ni. For your assignment ni, you don't need to go through yang proses yang banyak tu yang ada nanti awak akan belajar tu. Tapi just follow this basic step lah. Okay, first one, you need to have a story. You need to think of a story. Fikirlah nak buat cerita apa, and storyboarding. Okay, storyboarding ni for this assignment, it's not compulsory lah for you to create a storyboard and send it to me. No, if you want to, you can. But if you don't want to, tak apalah. For this assignment nanti final project you need to have a storyboard lah. But for this assignment, just if you want to create a storyboard, just create it. I mean, it's up to you lah. But you must think of a story first. What story you want to make? And then you need to prepare the tools and materials. Okay, after you have a story, now it's time for you to prepare anything that you need for your animation. And then you start creating objects or model and props for your animation. And then after it complete, you need to animate the objects or the models. And then you go to the post-production phase, which is editing and publishing. Okay, this is where you need to combine all the pictures lah, and then you publish it as a video. Okay, let's see one by one lah. Okay, first one, story and storyboarding. Okay, first think of a story that you want to make for your stop motion animation. You must have a story first. Jangan terus lukis atas kertas and then potong-potong, lepas tu tak tahu nak buat apa. First step, the main step, the basic step for the first step you need to take is think of a story. What story that you want to make from this cut out animation, stop motion animation. And then after you have a story, you can sketch a storyboard lah. But like I said, benda ni tak wajib lah untuk assignment ini. Bukan untuk assignment nanti, untuk assignment ini saja. Okay, after you have a story, you need to prepare the tools. Okay, these are some tools that you need to have. or some materials that you need to have. It's depend on what type of stop motion that you're gonna use lah. Okay, for example, tools, you need to have a device to take photos. This one, it can be your smartphone camera or your DSLR or anything that you can capture the photos. And you need to have tripod or stand. Okay, this one is very important. Okay, tripod ni, if you're not using a tripod or any stand, what I mean is if you hold the camera by using your hand and then you take a picture, believe me, the picture, your video will be shaky. I mean, gambar, video animasi awak nanti dia goyang-goyang, faham tak? Because of our hand cannot stand still lah. Kita ni kan ada manusia, ni gegar-gegar sikit kan. So better for you to use tripod to hold your camera or anything that you can use as a stand. Maksudnya sandar kat dinding ke boleh, letak atas kerusi ke, anything. So that you can capture to avoid any ni lah orang kata shaky, to avoid your video from macam orang kata bukan shaky, dia macam ni lah, tak consistent dia punya the movement. Kejap naik atas sikit, kejap turun bawah sikit dia punya karakter kan. So make sure you need to have tripod or stand lah. Then you need to have video editing software, can be Filmora or Adobe kalau Adobe Premiere, apa-apa yang boleh edit, or Sony Vegas ke apa ke, or apps, apa-apa apps adalah handphone awak pun boleh. Okay, you need to have glue. Sometimes you need to have glue. For example, if you make cut out animation, maybe you need to have a glue, scissor, stick, string. Okay, stick and string here, I think is usually used for the claymation, because when you model a character using a clay, sometimes you need to make a bone or skeleton for that object or that character, so that dia tak senang tercabut ke kan. So you need to have to use stick or string. Sometimes you use string to hold the character to make it fly ke terapung apa ke. It's up to you lah how you going to use these tools. You need to have color pen and etc lah. Okay, ni for coloring lah. Materials pula, if you want to make a cutout animation, you need to have papers lah. If you want to make a claymation, you need to have clays. And if you want to make a model animation, you need to have a model lah. Okay, then we go to step number 3. Then after you have all the materials that you need, it's time for you to create the objects or props lah. Okay, for claymation, use clay to model your object. Maksudnya guna tanah liat, plasticine ke apa kan. Sometimes it is better to make bones. Macam ni lah, pakai dawai ke, pakai stick ke, or apa-apa. Sometimes it's better to make bones or structure for the models by using a wire or sticks to make it more durable and easier to move for animating. Okay, maksudnya tak wajib. It's not compulsory for you to make a structure for the object lah, for the character, but it will help you a lot lah masa animating nanti senang. Tak ada yang tercabut, tak ada yang tiba-tiba patah apa kan. Okay, this one is for claymation. Okay, for cutout animation, dia lain sikit. For cutout, you need to draw objects or character on a paper. Okay, and but better for you to draw each main body part separately lah, macam ni kan. For this character, you will have this different part of the body separate. You separate the body part and then you cut and you combine it. But it depend on what movement that you want to make for that character lah. Kalau character tu tak banyak bergerak, contohnya the character only moving his hand, maybe you can just separate the left hand, contohnya kan. The whole body and the head and the leg semua tu dalam maksudnya satu gambar yang sama, but you only separate the left hand. so that you can animate the left hand much easier lah. Compare kalau kita buat ni lah asing-asing semua nanti susah juga. So is apa-apa pun it depend on what type of movement that you want to use, that you want to make lah. Apa yang kita tekak lah ni. Okay, and then after you draw character and then you color it, then use scissor to cut each part. Macam ni lah dalam gambar ni, you take scissor and then you cut each part. Sometimes we may need to draw many poses for a character lah, it depends lah. Okay, for model animation, I think this one is the easiest one lah, because you just use any models yang ada lah. You don't need to create one, just use anything that you can find. For example, toys and so on lah. Toys, action figure, and maybe kotak pensel ke apa-apa yang ada. This one you have already done it lah. And then for the fourth step, after you have the character, now it's time for you to animate it, to do the animation lah. Okay, first we start by setting the stage. Okay, maksudnya tempat untuk kita rakam tu lah, stage rakaman kita tu. Okay, place characters, props and background on the table, board or any flat surface. For example, if you make a cutout animation, place all the character body parts, the background and so on the table. And then maksudnya better for you to use flat surface lah, supaya gambar tu lebih cantik. Nanti tak ada masalah sewaktu rakaman. Okay, and then set the camera on the tripod or stand facing the stage. Maksudnya macam biasa menghadap facing the stage. You can also hold the camera with your hand, macam saya cakap tadi, but make sure your hand doesn't shake too much for better result. Tapi kita as a human being, I don't think we can make we cannot avoid ourselves for be shaking lah, sebab shaking manusia kan, kita sentiasa bergerak. So better for you to use tripod lah or stand. Okay, then move the object little by little. Snap a picture of each movement of the object. Okay, if you hold the camera with your hand, make sure you have someone else to move the objects or vice versa. Maksudnya kat sini, if you hold the camera, make sure you are not the one who moving the object lah. Sebab nanti itu yang akan menyebabkan your camera, your handshake, your handshaking because of you. Sebab awak pegang kamera, awak jugalah yang kena gerakkan karakter tu. So make sure you got help from someone else lah. For example, okay, this is individual nanti kan individual assignment. So maybe you can ask your sister or your brothers to help you. Maybe they can help you with the recording, or maybe they can help you with the movement of the character lah. It's up to you how. Last semester, one of my students showed me that his brothers helped him dalam pembikinan animation. So you need to get someone else help lah. Okay, then I recommend you to snap 2 or 3 pictures for each movement. Okay, for one movement, for example, for one scene, for one movement lah saya cakap, make sure you take at least 2 or 3 pictures. Do not take just one, because nanti itu yang bila awak gabungkan, if you combine all the pictures, it becomes too fast. We don't want that, and we also don't want it to be too slow. So make sure awak plan lah ala kadar, tak terlalu laju, tak terlalu perlahan lah. Okay, this is one example. This is my student doing recording the scene of claymation, where I think Ultraman fight with a monster. Ini dia punya background dia. Okay, this okay. Before you get to avoid any misunderstanding. Okay, this one is not is my student here. They make this project is not for assignment, just for for the weekly activities. So they make it in group lah. So but for you need to create it yourself lah. But it doesn't mean that you need to do all that by yourself. Maybe you can get other help lah, kawan-kawan ke, adik-adik ke, it's up to you. Okay, this is another example. This one is cut-out animation. I think this group make a story about perlumbaan rabbit, the race between rabbit and the turtle. Okay, you can see they use a tripod. Okay, and one person is moving the cloud here, and then this person is taking a picture lah. So you really need help lah for this. To create this animation, you really need help from someone. Okay, this is another one. This one they use the model animation. They use the toys for action figure. Okay, the background. They use computer wallpaper as a background. It's up to your creativity actually. Okay, after you finish with the animating part, now we go to the editing and publishing. Okay, after you finish taking picture of each movement of object, now it's time to combine the pictures and turn them into a video using a video editing software. It can be Filmora, Sony Vegas, and also you can also use the one that we used last 2 weeks, which is stop motion studio here. Stop motion studio ni. Okay, place the picture in the right order on the timeline and adjust the duration for each picture to appear on screen. Make sure it is not too fast and not too slow. Ni macam you need to make some adjustment lah. Sama ada picture tu keluar dekat screen berapa lama, 2 saat, 1 saat, 3 second, macam tu lah. Kita kena set sendiri dah. Then after that, you can add music and sound effect to make it more appealing. After finish, save and publish it as a video. Okay, ni note ni, you can also use stop motion animation apps. Stop motion studio ni lah yang macam yang kita guna, awak dah guna dah. Okay, so I suggest that you use lah stop motion studio for this work lah, for this project. Okay, this is one example. This one, this person use video editing software. Dia tak guna stop motion studio punya apps, but he use magic kot apa. This is the video editing software lah. So they need to place the picture on the timeline and then set the duration of each picture. Okay, this one is when we use the stop motion studio lah. This is my example lah that I show you last 2 weeks about Batman, story about Batman. Let me brief about the assignment one lah. Sekarang dah minggu 5, so I think I need to give you assignment lah, sebab nanti kan kalau bagi lambat lah nanti banyak pula berkumpul kan assignment. So I will give you for this week, I will give you the first assignment. Okay, this is it will give you 50% of your marks. Assignment 1 ada 30%, but this part 1 will give you 50% lah. Okay, individual assignment. You need to create an animation by using stop motion technique, but only 2 types of stop motion technique that I will accept lah. First one is cut out. The second one is claymation. You need to choose between cut out animation or claymation only. Model animation, I won't allow it lah, because you already made model animation last 2 weeks. Yang kita buat kan, yang macam-macam awak buat kan, itu model animation. So for this assignment, you need to pick either cut out or claymation. Pilihlah mana awak rasa awak suka, dan lebih siapa rasa suka buat modeling tu boleh buat claymation. Siapa yang buat cut out animation, siapa suka melukis tu, you can do the cut out animation. Ikutlah. Okay, then make sure the story must be interesting. Here means that your animation need to have a story. I mean, it delivers something like some information, not just a character twisting around or macam saya buat kan, itu stapler tu pusing-pusing, cerita apa tak ada kan. I don't want at least I have a message lah. Your animation has a message, that you want to deliver to the audience lah. So must has a story lah. Okay, then your animation must have characters lah. Characters here mean it can be human, animal, robot, alien, and etc. lah. Saya tak nak just you just animate a logo or a text only. No, I want at least you have a characters, a cartoon characters. Tak nak macam ada yang buat just nama dia buat nama dia pusing-pusing. Tak nak just mesti ada karakter. Boleh, you can have that one. Maksudnya you can have cut out, you can animate a text or whatever, but for your name lah, contoh untuk nama awak keluar ke sebelum tu ada nama awak, kredit nama awak ke apa kan. Tapi I want to see characters, can be human, animal, robot, etc. apa-apa. Okay, the movement of the character must be smooth lah. The smoother the better lah. Sebab antara markah yang saya consider adalah dari segi pergerakan tu. Adakah pergerakan tu smooth atau tidak? Kalau macam terlalu tak smooth, kuranglah markah dia. But if you make the animations, the movement smooth, so markah dia banyak sikit lah. Dan yang penting kena banyak pergerakan lah. Janganlah 1-2 pergerakannya dan sepanjang video tu you only make 1 or 2 movement je. Itu sikit lah markah. Make sure the movement is smooth lah. Must add audio. Okay, after you finish recording, maybe you can for example, if you record it using a stop motion studio punya apps, and then after you publish the video, maybe you can transfer the video into any video editing software, for example Filmora or anything, and then by using that software maybe, and then you can add sound effects, background music, or maybe a voice, your audios. But last week you have show your talent, right, in to be the voice actor kan. So I hope that you can also have a dialogue lah in this in your animation dalam assignment ni. Okay, minimum duration is 1 minute. Please make sure your animation is not too short. Janganlah saya baru nak layan kan, baru nak tengok kan, baru tekan play dah habis. At least you make it 1 minute lah. At least 1 minute. Okay, the deadline is 22 November 2020. Okay, maksudnya kat sini you have around 2 weeks and ada beberapa hari lah, 2 weeks and 2 weeks, 3 days macam tu lah, 3 days lebih macam tu lah. Okay, make sure you submit it to me. First, you need to submit it inside your Google Drive folder, your company Google Drive folder. Make sure you create a folder, mungkin you can name it as assignment 1 or assignment 1 part 1, macam tu lah. And then you put all of the video there. Make sure you name the video ni lah, you use your name as the name of the video lah, you rename it. Jangan letak video 1, video 2, saya tak tahu siapa punya. Use your name as a name for your video lah, your full name, not your nama glamour ke apa, nanti susah saya nak cari. And then another one, I want you to upload it into your ni lah, Google pula, company IG lah.